ただいまより第9試合女子無差別級5分2ラウンドを行います。青コーナーよりユイガ選手、赤コーナーよりアマンダ・ルーカス選手の入場です。
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time right now to see Amanda Lucas. She's appeared in numerous films by her father in kind of small roles. Of course, in the Star Wars films I'm talking about. She is the adopted child of George Lucas, so she's now decided that she wants to be a full-time mixed martial artist, and as a result has signed a contract with DEEP for a number of fights, because I guess she was having trouble finding opponents to match up with her over in America. And now she's gonna step into the cage here against Yuiga. And she has a record of 3-5 coming into this fight. Yuiga is 33 years old, and she primarily fights for the Smack Girl promotion, but is going to try to skyrocket her potential bookings if she can defeat Amanda Lucas here. She's at a little bit of a height disadvantage at 5 feet 2 inches tall, Lucas at 5'4". This is a lightweight contest at 70 kilograms, or about 155 pounds, as we await the entrance of Amanda Lucas. I was kind of expecting, you know, the Star Wars march, boom, 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 boom. Amanda Lucas made her debut back in 2008. That was a loss, but since then has won all of her fights. She's won the last 4 fights in a row, and as you can see, she has the DEEP Openweight Championship, the Women's Openweight Championship, across her shoulder. She defeated Yumiko Hota in her last matchup. However, this matchup will not be for the championship. This is a non-title match, and Amanda Lucas trying to go for another submission victory here. 3 out of her 4 wins have come by way of submission, and I would bet that she's going to try to continue that trend here tonight in Tokyo.
新宿スポーツジムユイガ赤コーナー新宿系統 MMA 初代ディープ女子無差別級チャンピオンアマンダ・ルーカス。レフリー島田裕二。
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2 rounds, 5 minutes each. MMA rules. Amanda Lucas on the right, Yuiga on the left. Lucas comes in with a great record, 4-1. Yuiga not quite so great at 3-5. This is a non-title women's openweight championship matchup. And there's the bell. Both women coming out in an orthodox stance. As I mentioned, Amanda Lucas just a little bit taller by about 2 inches, lands a solid left hand to the face of Yuiga as they lock up there in the center of the ring. Lucas throwing the heavy leather. Yuiga goes for a kick. It was a little bit low. There's a knee to the midsection. Lucas fires back. Yuiga trying to take her down with that judo throw, and does. Ends up on top now. Lucas sneaks behind, grabbing a body lock. Trying to get her hooks in. Trying to maybe take her down, but Yuiga is a very solidly built lady. Left hand's up against the cage now. Trying to persuade her to change her position a little bit. Trying to cover up, avoid those shots from Lucas. Those are heavy hands. Up against the cage now. Lucas trying to get that double leg, maybe a single leg now, and does. Nice takedown by Lucas. This is where she's most dangerous, is on the ground. As I mentioned, 3 out of her 4 wins have come by way of submission, and she's trying to bully her opponent into letting her move maybe into a full mount or into side control. Lucas now sticking that left forearm into the face, across the bridge of the nose. It's a good way to make somebody's eyes tear up. Trying to get her opponent off of her is Yuiga. Nice pass. Trying to turn her opponent around, but Lucas just too big, too strong, and was able to force her way back on top of her opponent. Nice solid right hands to the body again. Lucas really imposing her will here on Yuiga. Trying to use that cage to push off and try to turn her opponent, but thus far has not been successful as Yuiga. Lucas now still on top, just pushing her face down into the canvas. That's never fun. Trying to kick her way out of it is Yuiga. Oh, and is she going to get her this time? No, right back down onto her back goes Yuiga, as Amanda Lucas is just not going to take no for an answer. Trying to rain down some punches. She saw an opening. She's giving her back, trying to fight off that choke. Yuiga showing some skills, some good defensive skills on the ground here in this matchup. And Amanda Lucas thus far has not been able to secure the win. She's been in a dominant position for most of the fight. Yuiga right over there in her corner has her coach screaming instructions at her. No doubt trying to say to watch the choke, defend against the choke, trying to stand up now. Lucas riding a bit high, slips out of it, and Yuiga almost in side control. Right on top of her opponent now. Now we'll see what Yuiga can do on the top. Trying to rain down some punches, give her a taste of her own medicine. Lucas, as you can see, has got the left leg all tied up, which is preventing Yuiga from slipping over in the side control. Amanda Lucas now on her back. We'll see what she can do from the bottom. Lucas still firing off forearms and punches off of her back. Lucas struggling to get position here. Yuiga raining down punches. Referee careful not to punch her in the back of the head. Lucas has to be careful. She almost had an opening for a Kimura. It looked like she was going for that, for an armbar or a Kimura there temporarily. Lucas now going down with elbows in the guard. Needs to get a little bit closer. Trying to free up her arm so you can rain down with elbows, but she's not going to have a chance as round number 1 comes to an end. Well, pretty good round. That was a very even round. I would say that Lucas was in pretty good control there for about the first half of the round, and then things completely flipped, and Yuiga seemed to be more dominant for the remainder of the round. Now, just at the end, Lucas reversed things and got back on top, but for the most part, I would say that was a draw, and just judging by most of the results I've seen here in Deep, if it's close to a draw, it will be. That's the way the judges tend to score here. They don't lean one way or the other looking for a clear winner. If it's a draw, then they scored a draw.
Final round.
All right, round number 2. This is the final round. As you heard, this is the last chance for these ladies to try to impress the judges here. Lucas coming out with jabs, caught her with a right hand. Yuiga doesn't seem as confident in her stand-up game as she does on the ground. And she may want to think about doing something with her hair because she's constantly pushing her hair out of her eyes. Yuiga circling to her right. Lucas closing in on her. Boy, what a completely different occupation that Amanda Lucas has chosen from her father. Father is a director of films. She is an MMA fighter. Well, definitely not following in the footsteps of her father, but trying to carve out her own career in her own right. And if it doesn't work, I suppose she can always go back to acting. Oh, there's a left hand that lands. And Yuiga, you can tell she's feeling that one. Amanda Lucas now with a couple shots now peppering her a little bit. I can't get a clear shot of the face of Yuiga. I wonder how much damage has been done. No blood yet, no swelling, but she's definitely feeling the effects of those shots. Looks like Lucas has got a little bit of a reach advantage on her. She's got a little bit longer arms, it looks like, and longer legs. Yuiga is a little bit more compact of a body type. A lot of stand-up action in this second round. That first round was almost entirely on the ground. And now both girls looking to stand it up a little bit, now fighting at close range here. Short little elbows on the inside by Lucas. Lucas seems very, very comfortable throwing the elbows. She's throwing the elbows at close range on the inside. She's throwing them when she's on the ground. You can tell she's definitely been trained in Muay Thai. There's another left hand. Oh, and she caught her with a left on the way in. Yuiga is leaving herself open sometimes as she's charging in. Doesn't have her guard up at all times. And Amanda Lucas has been able to take advantage of that. Even when she does have her guard up, she's finding ways to connect nonetheless. Yuiga tried a judo throw there temporarily. I think she got her with that throw in the first round. It was stuffed this time by Lucas, who fires away with right hands. There's another big left hand. You can see her hair flying back, or her head snapping back on a lot of those shots. Lucas connects with another left hand. She's winning this fight on points, I think, as far as the stand-up game is concerned. Oh, there's another right hand right in the face that time. Yuiga doesn't seem to be wearing a whole lot of damage on her face from those shots of Lucas. She's taken a lot of heavy shots from the American, but is not really showing the damage on her face. Spinning back fist this time from Yuiga. I'll tell you what, Yuiga is not just going to lay down for Lucas. She came here to fight. Lucas with heavy hands again. She is the DEEP Women's Openweight Champion, as I mentioned. You saw the belt on her way down to the ringside. This is a non-title matchup, though. Punches to the head by both women. Big swing and a miss by Lucas that time. I think those are some low kicks. I think Yuiga's attempting some low kicks, but she doesn't really have her feet set. She doesn't really have a chance to get her feet set because Lucas is constantly not even giving her much room to deal with. Up against the cage now. The time in round number 2 is starting to slip by here. I would guess that Lucas is ahead on points right now, at least in round number 2. I would score round number 1 a draw and round number 2 for Lucas, but that's just me, and we'll see what the referees have to say about this one and the judges. But I would think that Lucas maybe stole that second round. That first one I got scored a draw, and we'll have to wait and see what the judges think about it. Let's go down the cage side and get the official decision.
ジャッジ大城、赤アマンダ、ジャッジ福田、ドロー、ジャッジ芹沢、赤アマンダ、以上2対0をもちまして。
So two judges scoring it for Lucas and one scoring it a draw. I would say that was a pretty fair assessment of the fight. Good sportsmanship or sportswomanship shown by these two fighters. And no doubt we'll see Amanda Lucas back here in DEEP, hopefully to defend her championship sometime soon. And we have still got one more matchup for you on today's program, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, Amanda Lucas obviously very excited about her victory as she gets her plaque. And she will be back here to fight in Japan in the near future. You can be sure about that. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Still one more matchup coming your way on this episode of DEEP MMA.